Now, I may have found my next TV obsession. Set against the backdrop of the drama, excess and shocking antics of the power-grabbing social elite of 1980s England, Rivals delves headfirst into the ruthless world of television. This week, I sat down with two Irish stars from the show, Aidan Turner and Victoria Smurfit. I was even good enough to bring a camera with me, and here's how I got on.
Hi, I need a shirt and some socks.
Oh, Daddy, that's Lizzie.
I live just down the valley.
She writes dirty books.
Nice to meet you, Caitlin. You're wearing my socks.
Well, the one with them tight. Sorry, still unpacking.
Thanks, love.
How easy is it to find help around here?
We are not forking out for a cleaner.
Oh, well, stealing a woman's help around here is worse than stealing her husband.
What if you stole both?
That's grand, tag.
Aidan and Victoria, huge congratulations on the new show. It is hot, it is heavy, it is another hate word I will not say on morning TV. You play a married couple in the show. Could you explain maybe a little bit about your characters?
Well, Maud and Declan are a very passionate, feisty, fiery couple who deeply, deeply love each other and are really rather honest, aren't they?
They're rather honest. It's sort of a bohemian kind of a relationship. There's a lot of love there. But I suppose Declan, he's not always there for Maud like he should
No,
be.
you weren't.
He wasn't. He's slowly learning. He needs to be around more, but he's very attached to his work and his job, and he's kind of neglected his family.
Oh, it's all about you. It's all about you.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
But Maud was well able to make it about herself also.
Oh, no, she's all about herself, sadly. She's very, very self-focused, I think it's fair to say, but she's driven by the need to have attention and love, and that comes in sex, flirting, misbehaving camels. She'll go to any lengths to be able to be seen.
Okay,
won't she?
you've brought
Really
up the person on set that I heard had potential to be the biggest diva, who was, of course, the camel.
Oh, the camel was the most chilled out. Whatever that camel is doing, we all need to do, because that camel was just chewing the cud, chilling out, did nothing, was happy to have some mad woman high kicking on his back.
I have what he's having.
Yeah.
This is set in 1986, 87. You were both children of the 80s. Was it nice to dive back into that? Are you fond of that era, Aidan?
I love that era. I mean, yes, I was born in the 80s. I guess technically I'm an 80s kid, but I don't remember the 80s. I'm 83.
Sadly, I do.
I feel like I'm
I'm
over
not going to tell you what year.
You're right.
Shut up.
I didn't ask.
So for me, it was cool to dip into it. And just, I'm obsessed with the music and the clothes and the whole aesthetic of the 80s. I love it. And I think we've achieved it really well in the show. So that was fun. But yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like an 80s kid.
Okay.
I do.
You
Do
do?
you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Well, do you remember when we were in our kitchen? I'm like, oh, I had this cookbook and I had that toy, and oh my gosh, because the detailing on the set deck it was a 360 environment, wasn't it? It was just extraordinary. And I became that boring owl yoke who's going, oh, I remember this and this is what we did. And blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I was her. I
doubt you were boring at all. I heard you dressed for the part before you even got it. Is that true?
Oh, that's your right.
I did. Avon calling. I did. So you do a self-tape, the first, and I was so obsessed by reading Gilly back in the day, and I knew the Cooper verse. I'd read all her books. So when I heard they were making it, I'm like, I have to. I was as a teenager, I was going to marry Declan.
Oh, get out of here.
And I went and did it.
Look at that full circle.
I know. So delighted with that.
Manifest it.
I know. Be careful, I'm a witch. So I decided when I was going for the second audition, meeting the producers and the directors and the casting directors, that I'm gonna do this as Maud would, because Maud's an actress. So it was a bleak December, filthy day in London, ice on the floors. It was brutal. It was Baltic. And I arrive at the audition, and they're all there. They're inside in their woolly hats and their mittens, because it was that cold. And I arrive and I say, well, you're all dressed appropriately for winter in London. But and I throw off my winter coat, was in this little summer yellow dress. I am dressed for the summer in the Cotswolds. And thankfully they laughed. But I thought, you know what? Could have gone either way. But I thought, no, I'm going for this.
You embodied
brilliant.
Maud from the get-go.
Brought Maud, baby.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that story. That's
Oh,
very good.
really? And Aidan, Declan O'Hara loved the character. You were a very righteous, kind of straight-shooting
Right.
TV host.
Yeah.
Did you model him on anyone? Were you watching old episodes of any, I don't know, Irish talk
Everything.
shows?
I watched
Oh,
everything.
really?
Yeah, yeah. But Dave Allen as well. But it's a lot of different people. I kind of focused in the way it was working out that it was more kind of the longer form American political stuff like William F. Buckley, The Firing Line. Those kind of interviews, but I just kind of pinch from everywhere, and contemporary presenters too. A bit of everyone, and Norton, and there's lots of everything in there, and you just kind of create this picture then, I suppose. And I can't figure out who's in there and who's not anymore.
Declan O'Hara is very
It's
strongly
him.
in there.
It's him.
And while you were acting, you also had to, host a show in front of a live studio audience. How was that like?
It's great. It's a lot of fun. It's tough. I mean, because it's one of those things like we know that world so well. We know when it sounds right and when it doesn't. You're cutting to a commercial break, or you're introducing a guest, or whatever it is, or even the intonation the way you ask the questions. Like, we know these things. We're used to hearing it, so it's kind of in there already, and you know when it's wrong because it doesn't have a flow. So you redo the thing.
Yes.
So it's one of those ones. It either very works or doesn't.
It's
so.
one of those things that you don't learn it. You just kind of know it
You
from
just
watching
kind of
it.
know it. Yeah,
exactly.
It's a strange thing, but it was a lot of fun to do it. I loved it.
You had some amazing facial hair in
did.
this show. Can I ask, what took longer in the makeup chair? Was it this Declan O'Hara 80s tache, or was it the Hobbit from Middle-earth's luscious
Well, hold on, are you assuming that I stuck on Declan O'Hara's moustache? That's model's own.
I was asking. I was just asking the question. Maybe you didn't spend any time in the makeup chair for this show.
No, I had 2 combs from a moustache. There was time in the chair.
did?
I did.
And the brush.
The brush.
The brushy thing.
The brush, the wax, the whole thing. I'm very lucky in makeup chairs of recent. Not long. Not like some of you guys. That's just, I'm in and out.
You didn't have a wig or anything. You were so lucky.
The red was beautiful on you.
Oh, God bless. Oh, Maud, yes. By 4 p.m, I will tell you that a wig will start squeezing your head into a shape smaller than God gave you.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I couldn't tell. It looked great.
Fabulous.
Yes.
That's all that's important.
Aidan, I want to ask you about the famous side voting photo of Poldark, right? Is it true that photo wasn't actually meant to do the rounds?
I don't think it was meant to do the rounds. I think it was. I forget now. Originally, there's a makeup artist there, and I think she's putting makeup on me, isn't she? And they cut her out of the photograph, and then it became its own thing. I don't know. I think it was a behind-the-scenes photograph. But yeah, it kind of took a life of its own. Yeah,
It was viral before viral was a thing.
Yeah.
It was at the end of this thing. Yeah. It was. It's still around.
It is. I saw it today on the internet. And how does the title
Said
heartthrobs
every
sit
woman
with
every
you?
day.
Google's being lit up right now.
How does the which?
How does the title heartthrob sit with you?
How does it sit with me? Well, I don't know if it's around for me so much anymore.
Shut up.
But really, I think as soon as I became a dad and got a bit older, I mean, I'm 41 now, it's sort of just, it's somebody else's turn, and I think they've read that.
You're
it almost
passing
feels a
the
bit
baton.
inappropriate. It feels like people won't say it because it's like, let's leave him alone. He's a dad. He's an older dude. Look at
Well,
him.
I don't know
He's
about
ancient.
that, but I think after this show, it's 2 years will be throbbing a lot of people's hearts. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you
bless
so
you.
much for the chat.
Thank you.
Thanks.